like to call the meeting of the Port of Oswego Authority to order, and I would like to begin with introductions, starting with you, Bill.
Bill Scriber, Port of Oswego.
Ken Stevens.
Tom Schneider.
Fran Enright.
Terry Hamill. John Kara Smith.
Jerry Brown.
Mike Shanley.
Amy Tresetter. First thing I would like to do is welcome you, Fran.
Welcome.
Very glad to have you here.
Thanks.
Well, you've
Believe me, when you're working with this few, applause is
a rare commodity.
Yes.
Is there anyone who doesn't know Fran? Okay, great. We'll continue.
We don't clap every.
Your reputation precedes you, apparently.
Okay, we have motion 0709-1801 to approve the minutes of 6/22/2018. It is Exhibit A. If I could have a motion.
So moved. Second.
Second, are there any changes, amendments, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I do not have a report tonight other than what I will speak to you about in executive session. Committee reports. There's no executive committee report. Audit and finance.
there is no report. We did that last meeting.
Governance.
No report.
Planning and development.
Yes, we have a planning development report. It's an evaluation that,
Are we going to do this in executive session?
oh, yes, I'm sorry.
That's fine. Thanks, Jerry.
We'll do it.
Attorney's report.
Nothing but the open session.
Old business. None to my knowledge unless anyone else has any. You have a report, Bill? I don't see it on.
Amy. This is as brief as yours.
Darn.
All right, new business.
This is something I should ask.
Motion 0709-1802, resolution to authorize the acting executive director to apply for the 2018 Department of Transportation Build Grant. May I have a motion
So moved.
and a second?
I'll second.
Bill.
Thank you. This is what we've discussed in the past, but I have, this was in your package. This is a mock-up of what we're going to be doing. We have been successful.
It's in the front of the binder.
Tiger grant. The Tiger grant has been replaced with a new build grant. We do not have a number yet because we're still writing the grant. So I wanted to come to the board to get the authorization as part of the process as we submit. It's basically, as I have told you before, I believe what we need to do is expand here on the East Dock to make us more competitive to an agribusiness environment. Purdue has already booked 2 ships to come into the port. We're looking at 24,000 to 25,000 metric tons in just July and August being exported. The most we've done in the last few years is 15. So we're looking at 60, 65 this year to go out. With that, we need better and more efficient storage for grain. So what we did is kind of looked at our dock and what we could do. So basically what we're looking at is, as we said before, Dome 1 and Dome 2, we're going to apply to create a grain storage facility where we will then have a spout going to the dock where we can load directly from both the barrel building and the 2 increased storage facilities. Now, seeing Dome 2 is already occupied by crop production service, and in discussions with them over the last several months, they like the Port of Oswego and they want to expand. They want to expand at least 50% if we can provide storage for them. So part of this grant is to build a new dome facility at the end of Dome 3 at the east end. That would give us the ability to load directly off the ships, as we do now, potash, and also they would keep ownership of, lease I should say, of Dome 3. They could bring in new product. They have new products that the market would like in the area, and they would like to do it there. And integrated with these are rail dump pits, because we cannot effectively, with our we're not set up for high-speed unloading via rail. They would provide dump pits for the potash and the grain to integrate with already the investment that Purdue has made with their scale system. So we would basically have a compact, organized, efficient grain, almost like an agribusiness center right here at the water level.
Nice.
That would also be able, if we wanted to load rail cars out of it, we could do it. If we wanted to load trucks out of it, we could do it. So I know this is kind of sketchy right now. We're putting the final touches on it, but we'll be applying at the end of the month to totally make this an agri center at this side. And what I've told other board members, I'll tell the rest of you, is this does one thing for us that isn't on the paper, is that if we replace Dome 1 and Dome 2, it eliminates, of course, replacing the shingles. It also moves the storage volume that Purdue wants to this dock side. Opens up the back north warehouse, which is 250 feet by 150 feet wide, is a clean, dry, perfect environment for us to facilitate more business back there that is more in keeping with it other than grain. So I'm not going to, the open meeting, I told Terry and Jerry what my aspirations for that are, but I think we then are placed in a very competitive position to, let me say, be very aggressive at more Novellus business. And that's what we're planning.
So that's 15,000 square feet, and how deep can we put it in there?
We're right now working out, we're probably going to go
20, I'm
12.
sorry, 25,000
Right.
square feet.
Right, should be back northwest? Yes, there's many options we have, and some of them we have been, how should I say, undercut by other businesses because we don't have the storage. But this is storage we would free up to be very aggressive at other businesses.
Does anyone else have any questions for Bill?
I have a question, just so I'm orienting this plan the way I think it should be. North is the top of the page, am I correct?
North is going to be, yes,
Okay, and the shaded circle
The question is, what's the
is,
top of the page?
what's that?
The question is, what's the top of the page?
orientation.
Oh,
where
the top of the
CNS
page.
is, CNS, right where CNS flat, that's north.
It's in the folder, you know.
So the shaded circle is at the top, at the north end?
Yeah.
Okay, so those three, the shaded circle, why is it shaded?
That's a total reconstruct, that's where we're putting the money in.
Okay, so the other two are
Yes.
gonna be left as is.
No, we're actually, we're gonna put the two in as our phase one. We're gonna build that out. As you know,
Okay.
we already put a PFRAC grant in
Mhm.
for one. What we're gonna use is the $2.1 million for Fitzgibbons is the match for this, for the Tiger match, which, or excuse me, I'm saying Tiger, it's a Bill grant now.
Bill grant.
It used to be Tiger match. And this one is notated, because this is the central one, which will be the connector for two in the dome, meaning this is gonna house the tower sections that are gonna interconnect Dome 2 and the barrel building.
So in other words,
Yeah.
it's a barrel
Yeah,
building in this
yeah,
building?
you see that right there?
Yeah.
That's where we're gonna extend out, and then this is to come over, and we're gonna connect these two
And
together.
these are the scales right here?
Yep, right,
By-
yep.
And
And
then
the plan
the
works.
bottom circle will be potash?
The bottom, number 4, yep, right here, that will be the new dome for potash.
Okay.
Tom?
Yeah, I have some questions. Let me preface it first with a very supportive of the whole plant project, in particular the relationship, the expanded relationship with Purdue, which I think is much improved from the low point of where it was. Just a couple things for me to understand relative to the grant and the grant process. Do they, it's really not, you're looking at a whole handling thing, right? So it's more than just building the handling. Are you just looking for the building part, or are you looking for the whole
What-
grain storage handling systems that accompany it?
Yes, we are. And here's the point. is the bill grant is about the only amount of money that we can actually go to do a full build out. If we, you know, in past, we've been successful with pieces. This would put us in the market by next year if we receive it.
Right.
Which, by the way,
Is that-
Purdue wants.
That, you know, I mean, if you're rebuilding that and you're solving that roof problem, how do you, is there a way that within the process that you're solving the other roofing problems?
Number two,
Okay, number two,
we're
that-
taking down one
so
and
do
two
we-
and rebuilding.
yeah, okay, great. And then 3 doesn't look as
3 is the
damaged,
best.
but it will be, it's only a matter of time.
Yes.
So, okay.
I've talked to Jerry and his committee,
Yeah.
you know, we're looking
So
at
there's that added
repair.
benefit of that money
Yes.
that we wouldn't otherwise spend, which I would
Right.
kind of do within any, you know, analysis of the RO, the ultimate ROI, because are they looking for that in the grant application? So that is, you know, the value of any investment, particularly this.
Yes,
state
there's a
side.
cost
What
benefit
are-
analysis, yeah. And part of that is maintenance.
Yeah.
So we're actually replacing 2 high maintenance
Okay.
buildings
Yeah.
with a low maintenance
Yeah,
building.
because everything is the value of its future cash flow.
Yeah, it's
So
an excellent
you're gonna-
question, because
you're
yes,
gonna
exactly
project
part of
future cash
it.
flows from Purdue against the
Yeah.
cost.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Now, let me just ask one more question regarding the warehouse.
Done.
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding you, man. You're the general, I'm just the colonel. Come on, go.
Are you done?
No, I'm not.
No, go ahead, jump, go ahead, more.
Okay. What's the process on the grant relative to time frame and decision, and who makes the decision? And is there any,
Another good question.
at what time do you approach sort of advocacy and how do you?
Well,
we talked about
first,
advocacy later,
first
but-
what we do is we submit the grant, okay? The grant has to be submitted. Then the advocacy, of course, is, the point is, there's a lot to the package. There's a narrative, cost-benefit analysis I'm working on. Narrative I'm working with CNS on, engineering part of it, and it has to fit in our New York State Transportation Plan, which it does, because about a month ago, I resubmitted it with this basically in it, so that we've lined up all our stars. Then the process will go to a review committee in August. August, they'll review it. Then we will be graded 1 of 4, you know, highly recommended, recommended, satisfactory, and, you know, go try next year. If we get to that, then it goes to the, I guess, how do I put this, policymakers in DC. They then can weigh in, like senators and
So, okay,
congressmen.
so it's a federal.
Yeah, it's
Last-
not state.
Last question before I salute it over. No, you kind of, you trimmed it down.
Well, you took a breath, I thought.
That's well played. I don't want you to answer this because it doesn't help in public session. If I'm looking at it from a banking investor, and I was looking at the business, what I would say to that business is, okay, you're building it out for this customer, that always having, anytime you're doing something on a single stream of revenue source, customer-wise, it just comes at greater risk. Because if that customer went away, then all of your investment goes away unless you have a way to diversify your revenue within that pension system. And I wouldn't answer that now. I just lay it on the table because it's in my head.
Already thought about it.
Of course, yeah, because you can't make, you know, at some point, I would ask for it in the application because, you know, if you're building for a single source customer, then you're just creating greater risk. It's just part of any risk analysis model.
Actually, this is going to be, I can say this publicly, it's not for a single customer, it's for a regional product.
Yep.
And the product's not going away, in fact, it's only getting bigger.
That's a good answer.
The warehouse storage, is that for like over winter storage or what? If you stack it 10 feet high, that's 250,000 cubic feet of grain.
Okay. I don't like to give my business plans out in public. If you want to talk about it, you know, the problem with a public authority is we compete the way we are. And by the way, I learned today a valuable piece of information I never knew. In the entire Great Lakes, this is the only operational port left, meaning we're a business. All the other ports are run by stevedoring companies. We actually do our business. is that I'm competing against other businesses for the product.
Okay.
So, let me just simply say that we are,
Let me just add on to this. This is entirely subject that's acceptable to an executive session. That kind of information.
Yeah, no.
And we can
You
address,
say,
we can
I'll
address
refer
it.
that question.
Yeah,
We
I'll
can address it
retract the
further.
question, though.
retract that I can answer just briefly before I'm.
Well, you'll be back.
Thank you, I'll be back.
Here's another lesson. When your board gives you a chance to move on, just move on.
Yeah, I'll move on.
Because you want the less questions you get from the better.
Is there anything
That's just
else?
for somebody who works for.
All in favor?
They don't watch the video, fortunately.
Anyone opposed? Motion
Aye.
carries. Motion 0709-1803, resolution to authorize the acting executive director to review and accept a lease agreement with Dean Marine and Excavating, Inc. May I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second.
I'll second.
Bill?
Subject to attorney approval.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
attorney approval, subject to attorney
Okay.
Why
Why don't you amend it
Officially,
then?
yes,
But amend it and re-adopt it.
all right. You want to make that amendment?
Yeah, so motion 7/9/1803, resolution authorizing executive director to review and accept a lease agreement upon attorney review with Dean Marine. I do that.
And I have a second for the amendment.
Second.
All in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
I love chips.
John.
Yeah, John was the original.
No second? Yes, second
Do you have anything you would like to say further? Or it is what it is, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No one's opposed. Motion carries. Request for sponsorship, motion 0709-1804 is a request for authorization to continue sponsorship of 2 side dasher boards for the 2018-2019 Oswego State Athletics academic year in the amount of $1,500. Exhibit B, if you would like to look at that. And could I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right. You know, if everyone wants to take a look at it, if there's any questions.
They're lovely dashboards.
All right.
And we've
That
done,
answered the question.
and we've done this for a number of years.
Yeah.
so-
What is a side dasher board?
It's, John, you're standing right there, you see where the signs
know.
are.
Along the,
You know
around the ring.
the ring,
But one,
it's those little
where
boards
one
all
player
over.
slams the other player,
Oh, yeah.
the part below the glass.
Yeah, gotcha.
As long as it doesn't.
Do that every game, right?
I go to the game.
Sheriff.
Have you ever gone to hockey?
I go to a lot of things.
Professor Emeritus.
Yeah.
You got it, Mary, yeah.
Any other discussion regarding the sponsorship?
I'm waiting for somebody to ask if somebody gets hurt hitting our board or we
Just give them the money.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Now, I would like a motion to move into executive session. to
So moved.
For what purpose?
To discuss, now I've forgotten what we're going to discuss. We have to discuss some contractual issues and some communications that have to do with personnel issues.
I can move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We're in executive session. Bill's going to need a resolution to resume regular session.
So moved.
Second.
All in,
Aye.
Fran, what's in the record?
Okay, Fran, you're in the record, all right.
all in favor?
Get one in there, you know.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are back in a regular session. We have a motion, would you read it please, Michael?
Yeah, motion to
extend the term of William Scriber as acting executive director pursuant to New York State civil law for an additional period of 6 months.
Could I have a motion
So,
and a second, Terry?
Second.
All in favor?
It might be worth
Yes.
stating that we received that information from the Civil Service Office, so that became we became aware of that requirement.
Yes, that is true. Thank you, Terry. All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I don't get to vote.
No, you do not.
You can, but it doesn't count, but
Motion to adjourn.
So.
Second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
very good.
Thank you, everyone.
I've got a confession about that.
You know, at the governance committee in Albany, we have a